Hello Mindfulness Project family. We are back in Thailand and yeah, it feels good to be back in a warm weather, and it feels good to have a little distance to everything what happened in the last month. So what I'm going to do today is a very personal talk about what has happened and what I have learned in the process. And like most of you heard that my niece, 20 years old, died in a car accident, and it was, you know, the prototype of the nightmare nobody wants to go through. You know, one morning my phone had a message of my sister, please call me, and I knew it was in the middle of the night in Germany. So I called her back and I got this terrible message. And so 5 days later we were in the plane. We had so much help from our friends here in Germany, and I just knew that I'm going to face the biggest challenge I've ever faced in my life, knowing that I'm going back. And so when I came back to my sister, I kind of had the idea of, you know, with all the wisdom I have collected over the years, and, you know, with all my love, I could help my sister. So, and that was really, again, the male part of my being, basically. You know, okay, there's a problem, you know, how do we fix it? So, and I had, you know, all these ideas in my head, and my sister was getting more and more upset and more angry about people like me who treat, you know, mourning and grief like a disease where you have to get over it. And after a while, I really deeply realized that I cannot do anything in this situation, because it's so bad, and especially for a mother who loses her only child. You know, there is no cure in this sense. So everything I could do was to completely give up, basically, and just be there for her, and holding space for her grief, for her suffering. And that is basically our female side in us, you know, that side and that power inside of us which can be okay with suffering. And that was an incredible insight for me, you know, that the solution is not to fix things. The solution is to be there for other people with all your heart. And, you know, people don't need, you know, me to explain them life or something like this. It's just about love. It's just about being there for people, and everybody can do that. And that really made the change in the connection with my sister, in our whole grieving journey. It was really deep and powerful. And for myself, you know, I was in the beginning wondering, you know, because I was not falling into a super deep hole. You know, it was, you know, I was super sad. I mean, just imagine me going, you know, into the apartment of my sister and seeing for the first time the room of my niece again. But at the same time, there was also some kind of quiet silence, but not in a bad way, inside of me. And I was asking myself why. So of course, when you're in this situation, I usually go to science. You know, I read books and articles about grieving, and you know, especially the part of resilience in grieving. And what I found out is that there are a lot of people who get kind of stuck in the grieving process, and there are a few people who bounce back in a beautiful way, so to say. And what the scientists were saying is that the people who are not falling in these deep holes are people who don't ask why questions. Why did she die? Why did she step into this car? Why was she not more careful or responsible or something like this? These these questions did not show up in my head, because I think my teacher Ajahn Somshai, you know, the whole time he was just teaching us the same like Byron Katie. If your mind goes against reality, you lose. It's not a question why these things appear. It's the question to get into a state of pure acceptance of what is, and life is like this, and use the suffering for learning, for, you know, understanding life on its deepest level, because, you know, like, that is why we are here. This is why we are on this planet, to not just go with the flow, but we're here to just deeply understand. And death can be one of the most incredible teachers in this way. And one of the reasons why I didn't have these why questions were also because I deeply understood her motivation to do crazy things like she did, to step into a car and kind of like do car surfing or something like this, because I realized for myself the moments where I put myself out of the comfort zone, but also out of the safe zone, were the moments where I felt most free in my life. I mean, most of you have gone traveling. Everybody said, you know, how can you do that? You know, solo female traveler in Southeast Asia, are you crazy? And but you probably remember the moment where you just left everything behind, all safety. You know, you feel free, and then you expand your limits, and you know, you go bungee jumping, you go skydiving, you go surfing, you know, all these things, you know, literally put your life in danger. So why do we do that? Because it is part of our nature to live the most free, the most amazing, the most thriving life. And probably you know a couple of people who always live on the safe side. You know, the reason why you know, older people become so boring a lot of times is because, you know, they just don't take any risks anymore. They just think about their retirement and safety and pay off their bills and stuff like this, and there's nothing else happening. So, you know, for me, realizing that it is about exactly that, you know, that life is like that. And out of this understanding came another moment, which was really, really incredible for me. Because there was, you know, I tried to keep up my workout. I mean, I gained a lot of weight anyway, because I ate so much German cheese again, and all this nice chocolates and cakes we have. But anyway, I kept up my practice because I needed it to stay kind of sane in these moments, and to get some endorphins to help me. So this is also another thing which is just really good to remember, you know, in these moments where you are in deep, deep shit, what do you do to get out of it? And it takes effort. It takes effort to, you know, stay in a routine, to just really get off the sofa and do things which are really, really helpful for you. So one day I was doing some workout outside on the sport yard in front of the school next to my sister, and the sun was setting, and I was really exhausted, and I was just looking at the sunset, and I became super, super happy, because what I realized in this moment, not from my mind but from my heart, because before it was more a teaching, something I've learned, but in this moment I just really, really had to face it deeply, that my life can end any second. You know, this is why I tattooed impermanence on my forearm, because, you know, it was just touching me so deep already before, but in this moment I felt it with my whole being, that, you know, that every day can be your last day. Every single day something can happen which is changing your life to the worst. And that led me to a deep state of absolute gratitude, and also a humbleness towards life. I just really realized in this moment what an incredible gift it is to have this incarnation, to have this crazy life, you know, with all the ups and downs, and you know, and it is an incredible gift, but a lot of times we don't see it. Okay, so I hope I can pass on a little bit of this enthusiasm which actually came out of this experience. It was amazing, and also to just and it's still going on inside of me, a deep gratitude towards, you know, everything what is around me. And out of that, it was really interesting because a lot of things happened during the time. You know, there's this saying, the devil is always shitting on the biggest pile. And you know, one thing after the other happened. You know, a really good friend and my former companion of my company also died of cancer. Then, you know, we got cheated in the internet and they just stole 1,200 euros. But the whole time I was really like, okay, yeah, it's okay. And you know, all the dramas of my life, all the you know, difficulties and stuff like this seem to vanish in this whole process. And you know, and a lot of times I think, yeah, but I'm still alive, you know. I'm still grateful for everything what is, and I have the feeling that the dramas of my life became really unimportant in the face of death, basically. And so it helps me tremendously to just look at life in a completely different way. And another thing I would like to talk about is that for my sister, I could see that in the moment when my niece died, the most important thing in her life just disappeared from one day to the other. And she was asking herself, why am I still here? So, and I would like you also to contemplate about it, you know, when the most important thing in your life is not there anymore. You know, like when the things you are waking up for in the morning are not possible anymore, what is left? You know, why do you wake up in the morning then? And this question is super important. And I could see for myself that I had an answer to this question, because my answer was love. You know, I know every day I wake up, I can give love to other people. Every day I wake up, and in this moment where I was helping my sister and her husband and the friends who had also been in the car which crashed, every day I could make a difference in the life of somebody else. And that just gives me so much motivation in my life, and for everybody else it's maybe a different motivation, but we need to find it not in a sense of that we have to kind of like dig in and wait until the sense comes to us. No, it is more that we really have to reach out and make a decision. This is what I focus my life on, and then put all my energy into achieving that. You know, ask yourself, why do I really live? Don't just wake up in the morning and just go. Just ask yourself, why am I here? And then put your energy into that. You know, meet your friends, do crazy stuff, you know, just have and make it possible that you have deep connections, deep talks with people. And, you know, then you just know. And for my sister, for example, she had so much support around her. It was really touching. Her friends, you know, family, and people were around, neighbors, where you could see that before she did an amazing job to live her life based on what is really important, and that just makes the whole difference in the times where you just really need help. Okay? And when you are the person who is in need for help, reach out to people, you know, just become active, to tell people exactly what you need. This is what my sister did, because everybody was so uptight, you know, so sad. You know, what can you tell a mother who just lost her only child? There's nothing to say, and a lot of times people were saying funny things, you know, oh, you will get over it, you know, or, you know, there are other things to enjoy in life. That just really doesn't happen. But you know, she was just reaching out to people and say, look, this really doesn't help me to hear, but you could do this and that, and that's what we need to do. This is a grown up thing. And you know, and just the good advice of everything what I have been through, love will carry you through any situation, any circumstances, you know. Not the love you receive, the love you give, and the understanding that we are part of something bigger. You know, that the illusion of separation causes most of the suffering. When you understand that death and birth are just concepts we make, that there are no beginnings and no ends, that they are just concepts in our heads, then things can change tremendously. So I hope that by sharing this, you might change a little bit of your own perspective. Maybe it gets you out of your little dramas. I hope so. But what I really would like to do is to thank you from the bottom of my heart that you guys support us on Patreon or donate, because you made it happen that I could go for 3 months to my sister and just sit with her. And if you guys wouldn't do that, you know, things would have not been the same in my family. And it just really, really deeply touches me what you guys doing for us. And we have some incredible news, and there are exciting things to come up. So stay tuned. We love you so dearly. And yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You made all the difference in our life. See you soon. We'll be online now. Again, full power. Thank you.